Here, I brought one with me.
Oh, really?
This is the story about how these were found. Is I got a call one day. I was out there at the boneyard. My daughters have a tourist business around the corner a little bit called Gold Daughters. And Elora called me up and goes, Dad, there's a state trooper over here wanting to talk to you. And I look around my truck to see what I got in it. I said, okay, I'll be right over. I go over. And we had some stuff going on at the time. And I didn't think there was any reports filed any place. But I go over there and introduce myself to this guy, and his name's Eric Spitzer. He's the head state trooper in Fairbanks. He says, I was just out in the neighborhood. I wanted to come by and introduce myself. I saw you on Joe Rogan's podcast. I love fossils. I love what this is all about. It's my kids like to look for bones, and I take them out in the woods and we look for stuff, and I just wanted to come by and introduce myself. And the excitement in is just him talking to me. I said, well, follow me over. I'll go show it to you right now. So he went over to the boneyard. He got out and he looked around. He just couldn't believe it. He picked up some bone parts. I said, well, now you're a boner. You just got to find one. And we bullshit a little bit. He goes, do you mind if I bring my kids out sometime? I said, bring them out this weekend. We'll fire the pumps up. I'll turn you guys loose, and then we'll come check on you once in a while. And they found a pallet or two full of bones, little fragments, leg bones, and then they came back the next weekend. They found a mammoth tusk, and they found these sawed bones, a few of them. We got 15 of them now that they found. And so I told everybody those bones are now called the Spitzer finds. His two little young daughters found them. Sometimes it just takes a new set of eyes. I don't know how many of those we've picked up in the past, but we never looked at it that way. So I brought one with me.
All right.
This is the one that I carbon dated.
And so this is the one that's 200 plus years old.
Right. Now you see that notch right there? That's what I cut out to send in to get carbon dated.
And so this is, this is some sort of a joint. Is that a femur? Is it the top of a femur?
The lady, Jeanette Rhymes, a Dakota huntress, she thinks it's a moose leg bone. But set it on its end there, other end.
Okay.
Now, 200 years ago, what kind of utility would that have to do that?
What kind of utility to do that?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, the people that did that, why would they have a bone like that?
I would imagine to get to the marrow.
Yeah, but then what?
You eat it.
Maybe a candle? Maybe some marrow to...
Well, I would imagine they're eating the marrow. Cause
they are eating the marrow.
People have always eaten the marrow, and that's how they do it. I mean, if you get marrow now, that's how you do it.
But I think there's some utility to that bone is what I'm saying.
Yeah?
Just the way it sits. You could have put fire embers in it to keep, overnight. Because this was 200 years ago.
Yeah.
This was 100 years before Fairbanks was discovered. This is even more of a mystery to me.
So is this Russians? It's obviously owned by Russia.
It's about the same time frame, yeah. Russians owned Alaska. And, it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't go up. They founded Anchorage in the late 1700s.
I think the utility of it is just a coincidence, honestly, because it doesn't look like it's been worked at the bottom.
Nope.
No?
No, I agree with you. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. None of us know.
I mean, I'm sure they have used some of these before like that for something. But if I had to guess, I would guess that this is just something that they did to get at the marrow where all the good fat is,
Maybe they had some vodka and they poured it in there.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
They probably had some kind of metal cups back then.
Well, those two little you just showed, they looked like cups to me.
They could have been. They certainly could be some sort of a thing that you could drink out of. It's certainly the right size for a good shot of vodka.
Yep.
But so were there supposedly people living in that area back then? No.
Is right. Because up till now, the dating sequences have been 3,000 before present to now it's 40,000 years before present. That puts it up to 200 years before present.
Which is interesting.
It is interesting.
So
Does-
what do you think is going on?
I have no idea.
Does anybody have a theory?
There's probably a lot of theories, but that's the whole point about all this stuff. Nobody knows.
Well, at least we know you didn't come up with evidence that the saw is older than 5,000 years old, which is one of the things that we're thinking.
Which is, I was hoping that was going to be the case.
Yeah, that would have been wild.
And when I got the carbon dates, I'm going, oh, damn it. But thinking about it, though, it's even more of an interesting